Welcome to activity 4.1 in the Castle curriculum. For this activity, you're going to start by setting up like this. We've got a 3-battery pack, got a compass under one of the wires, we've got 2 long bulbs, and then we've got the capacitor in series with the circuit here. And we're going to start by hooking it up by closing the circuit and charging the capacitor. And we're going to observe what happens with the light bulbs. Again, we see them turn on for a little bit and then they shut off. All right, and that's while we're charging the capacitor. Now the first question here says draw arrows on figure 4.1 to show charge flow in all parts of the circuit while the bulbs are lit. Don't attempt to use arrow tails to show flow rate, just show directions. So what I want to do is just take my pen here and I want to show which way the flow is going. Now remember, we say by convention that the charge flows from the positive to the negative side of the circuit. And remember that the positive side of the battery is this longer line right here. So if that's the positive side, then we're going to say that the charge is going to be going like this around the circuit. All right, while the bulbs are lit. Okay, now remember, when the bulbs aren't lit, then then there's no charge flowing around the circuit, right? Or not enough to light the bulbs, at least. So number 2 says, in figure 4.1b, we're saying the charging is completed. So once the bulbs shut off, figure 4.1b shows the capacitor after it has been charged. Draw plus signs by the plate that has gained charge and minus signs by the plate that has lost charge. So what I want you to do now is decide which of these plates in the capacitor has gained charge, so which will become positive and which will become negative, and then draw a positive and a negative sign on that. That's question 2. And check with me after you've done that to make sure you've got it. Next, it says, imagine that you have opened the circuit and placed a second battery pack in the loop as shown in figure 4.1c. So imagine you put a second battery pack. Remember, each of these symbols right here is one battery. So here's 3 batteries, and here's another 3. So if we put a second battery pack in, don't actually do this right now. Just think about what might happen if the already charged capacitor is suddenly connected to a stronger battery with 6 cells. That's what it says up top here. And then they want you to predict right here in number 3. Sorry, my light's bad here. Predict, will the bulbs light again if you add the second 3-cell battery pack and close the circuit? Why or why not? So answer this question. Predict, will the bulbs light again? In other words, will we continue will we be able to charge the capacitor even more if we add a 3-cell battery pack? And then why or why not? Now add the second battery pack as shown in 4.1c with the positive end of one battery pack connected to the negative end of the other one, and make sure the compass is under the wires. So here's what that's going to look like. We have to go positive to negative here. So notice here's the negative side of this battery. It's got a negative symbol. This has a positive symbol. We want to go positive to negative. So I'm going to need another wire, and I'm going to connect the negative side of this battery to the positive side of this one, because this spring is connected to the positive end of this battery. So that's what it's going to look like. And then what I'm going to do after I make my prediction, I'm going to actually close the circuit here by connecting this wire to this lead right here. And I'm going to see what happens. Did the bulbs light? And if they did, draw an arrow on figure 4.1c to show the direction charge was moving everywhere during the second bulb lighting. So we can monitor direction with the compass. If the compass deflects in the same direction every time, then we can assume that the charge is moving in the same direction every time. All right, and of course, remember, convention says that the charge is going from the positive to the negative. And then question 5 says, did more charge flow into the positive capacitor plate and out of the negative plate? And what is your evidence for that? So answer that question. And then remove both batteries from the circuit and connect the free ends of the wires to each other to form a closed circuit with the compass still under the wire. And then finally, regarding both the bulbs and the compass, what did you observe? Explain why this happened. So what we're going to do next, after we've charged it up again, if it will charge anymore, we're going to hook this up and see what happens. Then we're going to disconnect all of these batteries after we record our observations. Disconnect all the batteries, and then we are going to discharge the capacitor by connecting these two and observe the compass and the light bulbs. And then answer the question number 6. All right, good luck.